Hi. Well, welcome to Self Love, creating a self love lifestyle. And today we're really going to get into it. I'm Marcy Newman, known as the Heart Shift Coach. And one of the things that I have come to understand is that the call for self love is a 24/7 job. Now, what's good about that is that you have job security, right? You never have to worry about being out of a job. The issues with that, the challenges with that, is that because it is a constant call, well, there are times where we can overlook that call. We can actually um, learn to ignore it. And in fact, I would say that many of us, probably all of us, have become quite professional at ignoring the call for self love on many an occasion. In fact, probably most of our lives. But what I always say is that the time for self love is now. This is its day. And the reason for that is that we have had an incredible increase in the level of self-awareness that is the result of you actually you looking for something more in your life, starting to really understand and accept that it must come from within you. It's that first step in recognizing your unhappiness, and that no matter what you seem to try to change on the outside, it doesn't quite make it. So we're here in this precipice, you might say, of recognizing that if we want anything in our lives to change, it must come from within us. Now, there's a lot of confusion, I think, for a number of people about how that works. But we will address this, of course, in the weeks to come. And at the end of the month, we have a live workshop, which you do need to register for. The cost is $11.11. And trust me when I tell you, it will be the best $11.11 you have ever spent in your whole life. I say that because you have complete access to me. So you can bring your challenges, your questions, everything that has been giving you a real run for your money to this class. So the theme, of course, is always the connection between self love and manifestation. These are the two areas that we must start to marry if we ever want to create lives that, frankly, we deserve to be living. So, do take a look at the calendar and make sure that you put aside always that last Tuesday of every month, because that's when our live workshop is offered. Now, we're here today to talk about self love and what to do when someone else does not recognize your worth. Now, you may be wondering why I chose this topic to speak on today. Well, because this just happened to me. So it's very fresh in my mind, very fresh in my heart. And I want to share some of this experience with you because I don't know about you, but I've been here way too many times. Now you might be saying, "What, Marcy? You're like the self love guru. We always come to you when we want to know more about self love." Yeah. And the reason that I am considered an expert in this field is because I've had so much experience. It has been the calling of my soul, as it has been for you. It is a lifelong endeavor. And the reason for that is, as I alluded to very early on in our conversation today, is that we've been dealing with this for so long that we've become rather complacent and may not recognize the signs when our soul is calling for us to step up to the plate for ourselves. And of course, there's nothing more in your face than when someone else doesn't recognize your worth. So, I want to share with you some of my experience, not the incident, because it's really not important, but the process itself of sort of, excuse me, carving this out of my awareness, my conscious awareness, and bringing it to the forefront of my awareness so that I take a good look at it. So here's what I started to notice. I started to notice that I kind of had like a churning in my gut over an incident and the way that I was being mistreated, not recognized, not being honored, not being respected in the way that I am due. And so this churning was in my solar plexus. That area is just above the navel, below your heart, sort of mid center in that upper belly. Your solar plexus is the area that is connected to your solar plexus chakra. This chakra holds the energy of you, but it's you in your wholeness. In fact, the color of this chakra is golden yellow. It's like you, full of the sunshine and the light that you are. And so it's how you project that light out into the world. It also holds the truth of who you are, and it calls you to be integrous with your truth because it knows that that is the source of this golden energy that you share with the world, that you project out, and the world needs golden light. And so, this is also the place where all of the different aspects of you that are sometimes not shining are held so that you are reminded to take a good look at them. Now, why do you need to take a good look? Well, because you are being called to take a good look so that you can resolve them, so that you can transmute that energy and you can release that energy back out through your solar plexus. And that energy is now available to you to use to manifest the things that can only be created from this golden light, from the wholeness of you. So anything that has been in the shadows there, that's been hanging out, waiting for you to transform it and transmute it, is going to continually come up to you so that you can do exactly what you're meant to do. And that is to finally free this energy so that you can be free of its control over you. You see, it controls who you are in the world and how you are in the world, how much of yourself you share with the world. It also controls how you see yourself, what you think of yourself. And so when we are in these challenges of our self worth, very often we're dealing with energy that has accumulated since childhood. It's been there a long time. And of course, much of it is not our fault because we didn't even recognize that we were taking this energy in and that it was stagnating because we were children and we were subjected to the energy of others that forgot their own worth. And so they infected us and they didn't see how, of course, we're more than enough. how we're worthy, how we're lovable, how our value can never be disputed because we are God incarnate on this earth. So here I was, clearly feeling the call. And I'm telling you, it was churning and it was churning. I couldn't ignore it because, of course, the conversations that needed to take place were perseverating, right? Going around and around and around in my head because they were unresolved. And I found myself justifying this position and doing this and doing that and making all these contortions. But I also noticed that the conversation going on in my mind was one where I was actually setting up this conversation to bring light to my worth. In other words, I was deep in trying to earn my own worth from myself, trying to justify it in the hopes that as I shared that justification that somebody else might see it. Holy moly, brought me to a screeching halt. And right then and there, put my hands on my heart like I always do. I said, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Because you see, the only way that that energy of someone else not recognizing my worth can be coming back to me as if I had forgotten who I was. Uh-huh. Remember, energy is always coming back to us in a boomerang. So, somewhere along the line, I had forgotten who I was and had not made that clear to the people that I was with, to the circumstance, to the experience. I took a deep breath in. Whew. And then, as I placed my hands on my heart again, I could feel this gratitude rising up in my heart. Yeah, I had caught that little stinker, that ego, trying to take me into a downward spiral, trying to get me into this place where I would be trying to earn somebody else's love and respect. And so, my message to you today is this: if you are in this position where you are feeling like you have to do something to earn somebody else's love, to contort yourself, to puff yourself up so that they see who you are. If you find yourself going into those mental exercises where you are, banging your chest and you are justifying who you are and you are, indignant, same thing's happening to you. But here's the message. If somebody else doesn't see your worth, number one, it's because you haven't. You started the whole domino effect. But number two, there is nothing that you can ever say or do to earn that love, that respect, and that honor. Because if somebody doesn't see it, that is the energy that they are in. And it has nothing to do with you once you shift yours. What it has to do with you is, like I said, you started the whole shenanigans, right? That energy was projected from you, went out, got much more powerful because energy is always looking for other energy, just like itself. And in the meantime, it found it, brought it back to you, and said, "Hi, how do you like this?" But this is where we step into this mastery of self awareness and how essential it is that we cultivate the courage to always take the action that self love is requiring. And so, what it required was not that I justify my self love, but that I claim it. Not that I justify or illuminate my worth and value, but that I embrace it and embody it. So, this is my message for you today. In the workshop that's coming up at the end of the month, we will be addressing this. And I will begin to introduce you to the heart shifting that's mandatory. It's absolutely essential for when we are moving from where we are to where we want to be. And we have to raise our vibrational frequency to do it, which of course is required 100% of the time. So I do hope that you will sign up for the workshop. If not, if you cannot be there live with me, no worries, you're going to get a replay. And the workshop will always be available for purchase after the program itself. So I want you to know that you are never without access to what I am teaching. But that workshop at the end of the month is when I tie all these strings together and we really go deep and we rock and roll with everything that we need to keep in the forefront so that we are constantly in this state of matrimony between self love and what it is that we're manifesting. So, of course, I want to leave you with an affirmation, and this one is quite simple. I am. I am worthy. I am enough. I am lovable. I am valuable. I am God incarnate. Breathe that one in, and just know that as you breathe it out, it will collect so much energy that is waiting for you to utilize and manifest from this golden light that is you. So much love to you. This has been awesome, and I can't wait for you to join me in the live workshop coming up just around the corner. So do take a look. Bye bye now.